it's all about money at the end of the day. So how do all of you make biddable ROI positive? And also, how does AI help in this regard? Laura, I want to start with you on this one.
So we have partnered with Elemental TV as our ad server. And so a lot of those contextual cues that Tim was referring to, we are optimizing and having to use AI to fill in for a lot of these demand signals that are missing, which is, I think, a huge opportunity. We've been speaking with Nielsen and a few others that are trying to, just like they try to normalize in all the other digital workflows, right? How do you fill in and optimize missing metadata? I'd love to find a more seamless way to be able to offer these 70,000 segments and all of these different things to optimize for that. So I think that's what I'm personally looking at. It doesn't really exist right now, though. I mean, the more we tend to find whoever the partner is that we need to do these jumps and pass-throughs, though, there's a million ways this can be improved. But right now, I mean, the tech setup for us is optimized to each of these, endpoints that we do have. I think some of the big things, though, still, Chris, that openly, with others has been when we start to have these live opportunities, new show opportunities, all of these premium opportunities, how are we flagging and passing that flag in a way that does indicate premium and these other, and that's been a big thing for me of like, how do we make this happen more? Because I can bring in more shows, but I have to get premium value for them, and it can't
Right.
just be through direct sales. We want to do it through Biddable, but it's been how is that relationship going to happen with these partners? Trade Desk and all of these others, right? What are those flags? And so
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that, and again, live being really that's the sort of the last bastion of what we see in over the air sports, news, music, but really, I mean, getting back to what Jack just said about sports. But Tim, yeah, talk about what you're doing on that side to get to something that's ROI positive and yes, AI for future today marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, again, ROI positive is been, I don't want to say fairly standard. ROI positive, I guess it's a relative statement, the cost of programming, if you start to look at all the investment in tech and OpEx. But, the reality is, based on your original question, is how does kind of Biddable help get us there? It's really selling the value, and Laura said this, it's selling the value of premium supply. The way and again, this sounds really painfully obvious, so I'm sorry if it sounds painfully obvious, but I'm trying to keep it simple. Like, there's connected TV and there's like YouTube, and then there's like everything else. And I think
Right.
one of the kind of like myths, I would suppose, is everything is like addressable, meaning I'm going to like target a subscriber and someone who's logged in. I think maybe half the connected TV audiences are logged in, but the reality is, because the contextual signals are more deterministic in nature, we're not relying on an IP address or a legacy ID, which are also becoming vilified by privacy laws. We can have more effect as targeting starts to, we're kind of back to the future. We're looking at signals, and it can be as simple as genre. Now there's technology like Anoki TV who can do scene level data targeting. So the long short of it is we need to reinforce the quality content, and I'll give Laura another plug. We got, Baywatch and just professionally produced supply, which is frankly a signature of connected TV. To get on the big screen, there's going to be less UGC, and UGC is going to be, and again, I'd like to have UGC's problems within YouTube and all the shorter videos, but it's establishing the value, and then it's creating bid density. And it doesn't necessarily even need to be, obviously scarcity helps get bidding up, but quality targets, quality data that's getting passed to these targets, whether contextual signals, transparency, and it could be geography, it could be time of day. Again, all the machine learning, all the AI is combining to create more predictive segments. So it's not as simple as saying, hey, we're going to do contextual, but you're going to put that in the algorithm with a couple of dozen other signals, including taxonomy. So that quality times that level of targeting really is driving results. And I talk about like a Proximic by ComScore, which is a really neat company and Audigent who just got acquired by, who uses Proximic within their segments, right? There's got acquired by Experian, right? They're better. It's not necessarily just the fact that it's kind of like easier and allowable, but they perform better and they drive better results and outcomes. So if you combine that quality with those outcomes, and you'll start to get bidding. And then as the quality of that inventory comes on, the ad tech should take care of itself, the ad server and the
Right. And then it's basically Metcalfe's law for those who know that. So the net quality of the network increases with usage, et cetera.